Hello everyone, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button. I junk journal on a slow stitch, and today I am slow stitching. This video is a bit later than normal because I decided instead of after work coming up to the craft room, I would wait for my husband to come home, and we sat in the garden while he braised up some sausages for our dinner. So that's that. I actually don't know why I'm explaining myself, but there you go. So I was going to say in a couple of weeks, but actually it's less than that now. It's kind of a week and a half. I have the first of two workshoppy thingies, and the second one is just exclusively junk journaling. The first one is slow stitch and junk journaling. And basically, there's an event called Made in the Fens at a village just outside of Cambridge, and I live quite close to this village, so I said, can I come? And they said, what do you do? And I said, this is what I'm going to do. And they were like, yes. I don't think it's very organised. I don't think a lot of people are going to come to it. However, I always think you should be very prepared. So I am making 25 kind of slow stitch rolls. And this is the constituent parts, really. It's a piece of denim from a pair of jeans. These are twigs that Miles has been cutting up and saving wood and seasoning it for kindling. So this is proper, it's like really hard, dry, and it was very barky. In fact, I've got one under the desk that's long. So we cut them up to this length to put in the fire, but I just grabbed a big handful and rescued them. I took all the bark off, and then I got him to just go on the saw, and he's hand sawn some of them and chop sawed some of them, so some of them are really nicely flat sawed, but it doesn't matter. To just saw me some lengths, and I have, and then we are, just sewn them on so that they're all one piece. Now, if I was making a slow stitch scroll for myself, I wouldn't do it this way around. But because this is something that people can come and do, and they can come and do a sit and stitch, I wanted them to have the whole thing together. So it's not as long as what I would normally do. In fact, it's probably the same length as my like old vintage button one. But I have this one on the go, and then I have a few others dotted around the craft room. And I just like, you get a phrase, write the phrase out, stitch it out, just using a simple back stitch, add your embellishments. We are working on this. This is a channel project that will has inspired some other types of channel projects to do with jeans. So we're going to do some bunting at some point. I don't know when. I've just agreed to do a collaboration to do a junk journal July, so I don't know when I'm going to have time to do anything, but it's all good. I'm loving it. I'm just loving how like connections and partnerships and collaborations are all happening. It's fantastic. I love it. It's just what I wanted, really. So back from that segue to the rolls. I just want to make up about 25 of these so that somebody can come, they can grab a roll out of a basket. I've got all my little bits and bobs that they can sort of use. I'll have buttons, I'll have threads, I'll have like embroidery floss, I'll have yo-yos, I will cut some doilies up. I will do some stamping on fabric and cut that out as well. I think that's my next big stamping session. We'll be doing that, so that there's plenty of things for people to have a sit and stitch a little bit, and then they can have a little bag and take the bits away. I'm thinking about charging £5 for this activity because of I actually think I could charge more, but yeah, I think £5 is, or £5.50, because I'll have a card reader. I've even bought a card reader. That's a bit serious, that's a bit intentional to say I'm here and this might turn into a little thing. So there we go. That's what we're going to make. So if you want to make a slow stitch roll, and you don't have like the cotton reels, like this is a modern cotton reel that I was kind of spray painting a load of stuff copper, and I just went and grabbed a handful of things that I thought I would experiment with, and I came out with this cotton reel and made it kind of not look like a brand new Gutterman one. And it became the one for this. But if you don't have any cotton reels or dolly pegs, because they're another good thing to do this type of thing onto, you could sew it onto a dolly peg. Get some twigs out of the garden. I mean, this literally is using trash. It's a pair of jeans. Most charity shops, you know, they get overrun with jeans and would put them in the rag bag, or they would just get recycled to somebody else, and then eventually they end up in a rag bag. And a twig out of the garden that has been seasoned up once the bushes were chopped down to go on the fire. So I've saved it from going on the fire. It's really hard wood as well. I mean, they do burn very well. In fact, they burn a lot longer, even though I'm classing that as sort of kindling, but they do tend to burn a lot longer. But there we go. I am waffling. So I just thought we'd make a couple of these up. Not going to be on very long. I anticipate like kind of being quarter an hour or so. I'm just going to have a natter. Easy breezy. Crafting so that you can sort of see what I'm doing really. And there's no right or wrong way of doing this, I don't think. It's very homespun. It's going to be very kind of rustic. I'm not going to put a pin in, I'm just going to hold onto it. This fabric does have a little bit of stretch, so I am using that. I don't like jeans with stretch. I don't like not wearing jeans with stretch because I'm a girl of a certain size, but I don't like crafting with jeans with no stretch. No, strike that, reverse it. I don't like crafting with jeans with stretch, but generally most jeans do have stretch now, so got to use what we have. So just going to lock it in, and we just sort of stitch down the sort of side really. So the idea is that I just have this little basket of these. I have the bits and pieces in jars. I'm thinking through how my table's going to be. I've got a 2-metre table. I have actually spent some money. I've even bought things on Amazon because I couldn't find what I wanted at the price that I wanted, which is, you know, I don't like buying things off Amazon, but it is what it is. I was saying to Miles the other day, there used to be this website called CPC or CUP, I can't remember, but when we have the photography business, it was kind of like, I don't think wholesale is the right thing, but it's the sort of thing if you had a business you would use it, and they would have had things that I wanted at like at a really reasonable price, but I don't think, you know, I don't think it exists anymore. So we're just going to go in and out. As long as the end bits are really well kind of secured, you've put a few, you know, just a few stitches in. I don't think you need to do like a back stitch or anything. I think you just need to do like a running stitch. Just making sure it's roughly even and neat. Yeah, so how have you been? Have you had a good day? I had a much better day than I did yesterday. Yesterday was so stressful. Today, not so much. I don't feel like I accomplished much, but it was a lot less stressful. A lot less stressful. So I quite like that. I'm in my office tomorrow, which is nice. Yeah. My office is really far away. They moved it. It used to be in the centre of Cambridge. And now it's in a town on the other side of Cambridge from where I live. So it's quite far away. And that's the only disadvantage of it. But I only go in once a week. And most of the time I've had lifts. I've not had to catch a bus or anything. So that's been good. Tomorrow's no exception, I don't think. I'll go and check my messages, actually. I don't think so. I think it's alright. Otherwise, I will be catching a bus. There we go. That's how easy it is. And then there's one more thing. I thought I would just get a little bit of denim here. I cut some thin strips. They were actually just sort of off-cutty bits to make a tie. And then it has a tie for when the scroll is finished. And you still can use this and sort of put an extra, you could put a backing on it and still make it pretty. It still will be alright. But I think for a first sort of dip into this kind of craft, it's perfectly acceptable. Hide our knot. Yeah, so I'm just doing lots and lots of little jobs like this to get enough stuff. At the weekend, I think I might need to do a bit of a charity shop. And hopefully not find a wardrobe. If we do, we can put it in our bedroom. I'll sort it out the weekend after. Because I'm swapping over, there's like a small wardrobe or cupboard in our bedroom. We have like a built-in wardrobe as well, but we always need extra storage. It's not a very big built-in wardrobe. So I'm kind of on the lookout for something like that. So I won't walk away from one if I see one that I want. So the small cupboard's going to come in here, and that would solve the rest of my storage problem here. And then the other situation will solve a bit of a problem in the bedroom. There's not really. Everything goes away. It just would fit. It would, have a bit of breathing space. And as I'm not buying clothes at the minute, because I'm on this weight loss journey, and I don't want to buy clothes until my clothes don't fit me anymore. And currently they're loose, but they're still alright, so I don't want to buy summer clothes in particular. I might see about winter things. There we go. So that's it. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I think that they will look nice in a basket for people to sort of just dip into, and they can choose one and get it going. The next one. So I've got lots of little jobs like that to do. The things I bought off Amazon was a card reader, and I wanted it guaranteed that it would be here when I needed it to arrive. And some camping chairs. So the venue that I'm going to, they're not providing chairs. So I was like, okay. And I said what I wanted to do, and they were like, yeah, we really want you to do that, but they're not providing chairs. So, like I said, I think it's a bit amateurish. I don't know who's going to be there or what. But I always find it's worth trying something, because you never know the connection you're going to make. And that's what this year is all about for me. It's about connection. And it's kind of like I think in the new year, I think we might talk about it. Although it is something you should think about in June, because it's like halfway through the year. Because that was kind of like an intention that I sort of set at the beginning of the year for myself, was that I wanted more connection. Like, the channel was a big part of last year, kind of getting up the courage to do it, to sort of, make the movement happen. And then this year, I wanted to just build on that, and that it was just this feeling of connection that I wanted to make. So that's why I love it when you comment, because I'm making connections with people, and yeah, it's just wonderful. I love it. So, and I'm also trying. I feel like I can't say no, but not in a horrible way. I just have to this year obviously there would be a point where I would say no, kind of let the opportunities happen, and it's not the time for editing, it's the time to say yes, really, this year, because of those connections. So that's what I'm doing. Saying yeah and making connections. So do say hello. If you've not been saying hello in the comments, I love it when you say hello. And it really helps the channel. Yeah. So that's exciting, because I'm nearly at my goal for the end of July, which is our birthday month, is for the channel to be like 1,000 subscribers. I think that will happen. I've got less than 100 to go. We've not even started July yet. See, I don't think it needs to be neat because it's handmade, because I thought that would be really painful to make it very, very neat. It's handmade. I don't want to be a perfectionist, and I will explain. This is handmade. It will be slightly imperfect. So yeah. So we're making little scrolls. I love it. I did a load of stamping, and I did that on the channel the other day, and then I've still got some sheets lying around, but I've just been before work sitting and snipping for like an hour before work. I think that by the time I do that and do a little bit more stamping and do some snipping for the fabric stuff as well, I think I'll have enough bits and pieces. It'll be good. It will be good. Yeah. So the two workshops are very different. The first one is just literally, I'm in the midst of this like makers event. I think it's a craft, but it's got demonstrations. I don't know. It's just a little museum putting events on in the summer. That's really what I get the impression. There's lots of these around here because it's very flat. There's lots of windmills because there's lots of wind, basically. And the windmills that the Dutch built a couple of 100 years ago, they all came over and drained the land because it's all at sea level. We're currently not. We're on a hill, which is a rare thing where I live. But I am on a hill, so, you know, when it gets too globally warm and all the sea rises in the North Sea, whoever lives in this house, because I don't think that will be us, it'll be fine. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, because there's lots of windmills. There's all these little museums, and I've not actually been to this one. I've been to another one, another village, sort of more deep into the fens, and the windmill, because that opens up once a month and you can go up it. I will take pictures because I should imagine it'll be lovely. But yeah, I'm just kind of anticipating and seeing the connections that I can make, because I remember the last time I've done other craft stalls and I've organised craft markets. You always have really good conversations even if it doesn't make anything, and so I know the money that I've spent on the card, card reader, I was like, yeah, but I'm just going to see that as an investment, and even the chairs as well, so that I could end up with just some kit that I take to places. We'll see. We will see. They look good, don't they? I like them. We'll do another one. What time are we on? We'll do another one, and then I'll say goodnight. And I'm going to go and get ready for work tomorrow in the office. There's always little jobs I've got to do. I might make my lunch in the morning rather than, I don't like it sitting in the fridge all night. I'm going to have rice and quinoa with some feta and some salad. Just make like a bowl up of stuffs. And I think we've got some cherries and some strawberries and apples in, so I'll make a little fruit thing. It was nice to grill, to like have a barbecue or a braai. Just a little one. There wasn't like lots of meat, it was just literally the sausages we decided to do. But it was nice to be outside and chew the fat, talk about our days. Can't wait for the warmer weather, and we can, because it got a bit chilly. Because the sun is still up, it's like 8:30 in the evening, and it's still bright sunshine outside, and it probably will be, well, when I say bright sunshine, it's like a long twilight. It's still bright outside, it's still daylight, very much daylight. So we get very, very long days in the summer in the UK, and then very short days in the winter. So everybody's really eager when the light comes back. And it's a big part, it has been a big part of like our culture, really. Our ancient culture was all about following the light. That's what Stonehenge is all about. So, there we go. So I like these scrolls. I think they're very the vintage button. They're very what I'm about. Kind of making things from the things that we find. Making things from things that already exist. Can't be perfect, we have to be pragmatic. Like I said, I bought a couple of bits off Amazon. I'll have to try and find an alternative. But just for some things, and that's, we've allowed that to happen. That, there's one place where you can get everything. We have allowed that to happen. But, I don't know. No, we just want a little scroll, a little tie on it. I don't mean, when I talk about like not buying things from Amazon, like I don't want to be preachy about it. It's just I prefer not to. I would prefer to buy stuff locally. But yeah. It's a strange place, the internet, about being yourself and being authentic. But also being mindful of other people who have different opinions, and that's alright. That's alright. So here we go. I don't know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow. That's another very British thing, isn't it? But I do need to think about it, because this office, our old office, had air conditioning. This office doesn't have air conditioning. It looks nicer. It's a nicer building, but it just doesn't have air conditioning. It's also on the top floor. So it's very, very warm. So yeah, got to be careful about that. I'll just find a nice sundress, put that on. So, what do you think about my scroll idea? It's really simple, it's really easy, like, it's completely free, so it's very frugal. You can, eventually, it's just a way of housing this. I might see if I've got any spare ones of these, or get Miles to cut me some more up, and I might house this on, so that things are not always on the vintage cotton reels, they can be on other things too. Just to show you that, I'm using what I have, but, you use what you have. And you can always find a twig somewhere, or a stick. You could use that, an old broken handle. Can't talk, I am really tired, need to go. There's all kinds of things you could use to be that sort of holder. You can make them longer, and I could have painted and decorated, got my Posca markers out, but while these are for the craft sort of day, and I just wanted to keep it as simple and as streamlined as possible, so that I can just make a load of them up and keep going. So I know the ones that need doing are these ones with tape on. See how many I've got left to do. Oh, I've only got 4 left to do. That's fantastic. That really is fantastic. I'll have them done by the end of tomorrow. And here's my pile. I'll find a nice pretty basket or something to put them in. Oh no, I've got 5. There we go. Got 5 of them to do. That's alright. Still have them done at the end of the day. Tomorrow. So there we go. Easy peasy scrolls. Stitch scrolls. Made with garden waste and an old pair of jeans. You could do that easily. Let me know in the comments. Is it something you've considered doing this before? Is it something you've seen somebody else do? Absolutely fine with that. Let me know. See what you think. Right then, I'm going to go and have a bath and then go to bed. I will talk to you all on Friday. Thursday is the only day I guarantee I'm not going to put a video out, because that's my long day. The rest of the time, if I can, I will. I've got some exciting things to be talking about that are projects on the horizon, particularly if you're a junk journaler. And yeah, I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye bye.